Hello everybody, we've got a new poll from the Old School RuneScape team, so let's go ahead and vote in this poll. So this is content poll 30, the near miss poll. If you don't really know what's happening in this content poll, make sure you click here for my dev blog video. So first of all, we're going to start off with question 1. Should they introduce a new Clan Wars game mode called Timed Deathmatch? Clans would choose a set amount of time and the team with the most kills by the end would win. Now I like that idea, so I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. Next, question 2. Should they introduce a new Clan Wars game mode called Team Odd Skull? Clans would compete to hold a skull for the longest, killing each other to get possession of the skull. The clan that holds the skull for the most time wins. Now, I'm not as keen on this as I am with the Time Deathmatch, but I still like the idea, so I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. Next, question 3. Should they make some small changes to the Clan Wars Classic map and make it play more like the original? Now, I've not really had a chance to play much Clan Wars in Old School, but I did enjoy Clan Wars back in original RuneScape 3 now, so I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. It'd be fun to get into that map, get into Clan Wars and play some more games. Next, question 4. Should the Wilderness bosses drop very rare pets of themselves? So the 3 Wilderness bosses, Callisto, Venenatus, and Vetion. They all look great, but I can't imagine these looking very good as pets. Originally I voted no because I didn't like the way they looked, and I still think that applies. I know the Old School team said, oh, we didn't get all these updates because people didn't like the idea of pets, and now we've got lots of pets. We love them. No, we like the idea of pets. We just don't want too many of them, and if we are going to get a pet, we want to make sure it looks good. So for that reason, I'm going to vote no, because I really don't think they'll look good as pets. Next, question 5. Should they add a very rare Scorpia pet to the Scorpia drop table? Now, similar to before, I think Scorpia doesn't look too good. To be honest, I think Scorpia looks better than the other bosses, but I think really the sort of pet it should drop is kind of like the Scorpion Capture Scorpion. And that's similar to what I said back when they originally polled this stuff. Now, I originally did vote yes, although I'm not too sure if I want a Scorpia pet itself. However, I think I can imagine the Scorpia pet looking decent when it's a small size. So I'm actually going to vote yes in that. Next, question 6. Should they replace the Wilderness Ditch with a less intrusive barrier that offers the same level of protection against luring? Players will be given a warning when attempting to run past the barrier, and this warning will be toggleable. So originally I voted against the Wilderness Ditch. I think I was quite nostalgic with it, and I still am to a certain degree. However, soon after they originally polled the Wilderness Ditch, I was doing some runecrafting and it started to get in my way, and I was thinking this would be easier without the ditch. To be honest, I'm rather neutral towards the ditch. However, I think it is something that the players will like, and I also think that when it's gone, I'll probably enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. Next, question 7. Should Teleblock be made usable by free-to-play players? So Teleblock is a level 85 spell, very high level, and used in lots of PvP situations, just so that players that you're fighting cannot teleport away from you. Obviously very useful, but the way I see it is that free-to-play PKing is very basic and bare bones. You don't really have lots of spells, lots of weapons to create this sort of high-level damage. You also don't have these spells that can just stop players. However, spells such as Bind are usable in free-to-play, and obviously lots of teleports can be used at low levels. So I think having Teleblock in free-to-play will be a good idea, even if it doesn't really suit it and it's more of a members feature. So I'm going to vote yes on that. Next, question 8. Should items dropped inside the wilderness and PvP worlds appear instantly? This will prevent players griefing PKs by dropping items. Now, like I said in my devblog video, I don't think PKers are being griefed. PKers are the one grieving skillers. Skillers are just trying to get XP by using the Abyss, using black, chin chompers, whatever. They're trying to get the most XP. They don't care about a PKer getting an item, especially because a lot of the time these skillers can just make money so quickly. It doesn't really matter if they do lose these items. It's just annoying when it does happen. For example, it's less annoying now because you can go and pick them up, but a while back, when you died, you couldn't pick up your runecrafting pouches. So I think having something to stop people griefing PKs is kind of a bad idea. However, I can understand in a PvP situation where 2 PKs are fighting against each other and one knows he's going to lose, he can't teleport, perhaps he's teleblocked, he will drop his items to try and save it. That's when I think items dropped inside the wilderness and PvP worlds should appear instantly, but only if they're dropped by someone that you're fighting. So really, in a whole generalization of this question, I'm going to vote no. However, I do support the idea of, especially in PvP worlds and probably Bounty Hunter world, if you drop an item against your opponent, they can see that item and pick it up. Next, question 9. Should they allow players to hide messages from above heads of other players unless they contain certain words? This will work in the same way that you are currently able to filter auto chat, and will make it easier to find people buying or selling what you're looking for. Now, I'm a bit tempted to say, obviously we're getting the GE soon, and we're not really going to have to go through lots of spam. But then I remember people still spam, and it's generally just a really good update. I don't know why it failed the first time. I think it was probably worded in a strange manner. So I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. Next, question 10. Should you be able to press spacebar to continue through NPC dialogue and use number keys to select from options that appear in the chat box? You will still be able to click the options with your mouse as normal. Now, I think this is a really good update. I don't know why it failed last time. I think it might have been worded differently, or some people feel that it's not really old school. Now, I can understand them thinking it's not very old school, but generally these sort of quality of life updates I think are kind of nice. Although it sort of changes the way you interact with the game, which sometimes I don't really like. Either way, I'm going to vote yes. Next, question 11. Should they change the accurate attack style of the God Swords to slash rather than crush? This would not change the stats of the God Swords. The God Swords currently have a slash attack bonus of plus 132 compared to the crush attack bonus of plus 80. So, having a look at the RuneScape wiki and not actually owning a God Sword myself, I cannot really understand why they're polling this. It looks like you can use a slash attack. There's nothing that appears to be forcing players to use the crush attack. So I don't really understand what they're talking about here. So at this moment I'm going to vote no. However, if they want to expand on this and tell us exactly why they're polling this, not just because of the stats, because can you actually use slash on a God Sword? From my perspective, it looks like you can already use a slash attack. So I don't really see why they would change the accurate attack style of the God Sword to be slash. Next, question 12. Should the message that appears in your chat box when a ring of recoil breaks be changed to make it more noticeable? Now, I like that idea. A lot of people do use ring of recoils. I personally don't. I don't really find many uses for them, but I think players would enjoy that sort of quality of life update. Next, question 13. Should it be made possible to share super combat potions using the lunar spell boost potion share? This spell consumes 1 dose for each person that receives the boost. Now, originally I think I was opposed to this update because I didn't like the idea of players being able to share a potion. But since I realised that you consume 1 dose per player, I think it's more reasonable to have this ability. So I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. Next, question 14. Should the requirement to vote in content polls be increased from 280 total level to 300 total level and at least 25 hours played? For this to work, they'll have to remove the ability to vote through the website. Now, I can't really see much of a difference between the 280 total level and the 300 total level. 20 levels isn't too much. And once you've got the 300 total level, you probably have at least 25 hours played. One thing I'm a bit unsure about is them taking away the ability to vote through the website. I obviously love using these in-game polls, they're very good, they get it to the players. But a lot of the time when I'm on the forums, I just want to quickly check something. Going to the website and looking at the results of the polls is really good. Now, if they've removed the ability to vote through the website and kept the ability to view the poll results, then I'll be really happy. Either way, I think that this slight increase in the total requirements to vote is a good idea, and I wonder how many votes some of the previous polls would have had if we had this. For example, the latest Grand Exchange polls had over 70,000 votes, and a lot of the polls we've been having obviously have had an increased amount of votes, but not that much of an increase. Next, question 15. Should they add a button to the main offer screen of the Grand Exchange that allows you to collect all unclaimed items in a single click? This will collect items from all ongoing offers without cancelling the offers. Now, when I was doing my video on the dev blog, I was a bit unsure what this meant, but now they've added this last sentence, it makes more sense to me, and I think that's quite a good idea. Effectively meaning if you click the collect all button, if you sold or bought something, then it will collect those items. So I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. And finally, question 16. Should they add a button to the worn equipment screen that allows you to price check your items? It will be placed between the existing equipment stats and items kept on def buttons. Now, having a price checker will obviously be very handy, and having it in that old place where we used to have it in the original RuneScape, now RuneScape 3, would be quite good. So I'm going to go ahead and vote yes. And I'm going to submit all my votes. Thank you for voting. Let's have a look at the results for the near miss poll. So far we've got 6,388 votes, and 86.6% want the new game mode Time Deathmatch to be added to Clan Wars. 82.8% want a new game mode Team Old School to be added to Clan Wars. 86% want some changes to the Clan Wars Classic map to make it play like it originally did. 89% want the wilderness bosses to drop very rare pets of themselves. 88.3% want Scorpia to drop a very rare Scorpia pet. 71.5% want the wilderness ditch to be replaced with a less intrusive barrier that offers the same protection against luring. 68.1% want Teleblock to be made usable by free-to-play players. 55.3% want items dropped in the wilderness and PvP worlds to appear instantly. 83.4% wants the ability to hide messages from above the heads of players when they use the auto-chat filters. 92.3% want the spacebar to continue through NPC dialogue and the number keys to select options. 77.7% want the accurate attack style of the God Sword to be slash rather than crush. 93.8% want the message that appears in your chat box when a ring of recoil breaks to be changed to make it more noticeable. 78.8% want the ability to use potion share with a super combat potion. 81.6% want the requirement to vote in content polls to be increased from 280 total level to 300 total level and at least 25 hours played. 92.6% want a button on the main offer screen of the Grand Exchange that allows you to collect all unclaimed items in a single click. And 91.9% want a button in the Worn Equipment screen that allows you to check the price of your items. So this is an interesting poll that's happened. A few things I think are quite noteworthy, such as question 14. Changing the requirement to vote in content polls means that they're going to have to remove the website voting. I know not many people really vote on the website, but the ability to check the results I think is very good. And I always kind of like the idea of if I'm not able to get into game, I could always have that vote. Few other questions, such as question 13, having the ability to share your super combat potions. It's on 78.8%, means it's quite close. I can't imagine it failing, but you've got to remember that it is sort of on that verge of 75%. We've also got a 77.7% with the God Sword attack style changes. Personally, I didn't really understand that question, so I voted no. To me, it looks like you can use all the attack styles anyway. Other questions that might be interesting are question 8. Only 55.3% want items dropped in the wilderness and PvP worlds to appear instantly. Personally, I think it's a terrible idea. I understand why they're sort of suggesting it, but I don't think enforcing it into all of the game will be a good idea. Making Teleblock usable by free-to-play players looks like it's going to be failing. I'm kind of surprised at this. I figured a lot of free-to-play players would want that. However, like I said, free-to-play PKing is very bare bones. If you got all these crazy spells and weapons, then that's just member PKing. And free-to-play PKers are a big community and they want to preserve their free-to-play experience. Also, the Wilderness Ditch is on 71.5%, very close to 75%. Originally it got 68%, which means it's kind of near where it originally got, but it would appear players still don't really want it removed. Few other interesting things, such as the pets coming into the game, and Clan Wars getting some general improvements. Obviously, you've got to remember we've only had 6,388 votes so far. That's not too many. Recently, we've had quite a lot of votes in the polls. So if you've not yet voted in this poll, please go ahead and vote. If you want to know what's happening in the devlog, please click here for my video on that. I think this is interesting. I was a bit worried when they originally said they were going to be doing a near-miss poll. I was expecting a lot of content that I didn't like being polled. But really the questions they've asked are the ones I think are okay, or the ones that, if I don't really like it, I can live with. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share, and if you want to keep up to date with the Old School RuneScape updates, devlogs and polls, please subscribe. I've been Lewis, thanks for watching, goodbye.